You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is sure say the thing will beat your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is sure say the thing will meet your football need. Your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. Sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see. Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to another edition of your favorite footy podcast, Footy Fantasy. We're here during the international break. I know it can be boring for some people, but we're here to provide you entertainment, insight, fun, and banter. We're back again, and we have a first timer with us today. We have Shola, who is an Arsenal fan, joining the crew today. Welcome, bro.
Yeah, thank you, guys, man. I'm super excited to be with you guys. So yeah, let's talk some football, man.
Fantastic, fantastic. We have a returnee, another Arsenal fan, Ari Baba, Arinze. We're happy to have you too. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on a good day this time around. Remember, you guys are always trying to set me up.
Don't speak too soon. There's this man, there's a gentleman on my bottom left I'm looking at. He's a Bayern Munich fan. He's always ready for Arsenal fans. He's always ready.
We've announced ceasefire all the way. Like
Ceasefire. And that's Dio. He's joining us again. He's one of our regulars. Thank you, Dio, for making the time. And I can see your tagline is calculator for World Cup. Obviously, it's referring to Nigeria's World Cup hopes. We won't really be talking about that. We did a bit of talking about that behind the scenes. And man, it's not something appealing for us to. I mean, if we talk about it, we'll spend the whole podcast talking about that. But thank you for joining us, Dio. Welcome.
Thank you.
Before we proceed, I'll just do a bit of housekeeping, just giving out our social media handles. YouTube is at Footy Fantasy. Twitter, X is at Footy AD Fantasy. You can find us there. Instagram is at Fantasy Footy. And that lovely music that we're vibing to, just as we're playing the intro, was provided by SJ Music. So you can find him on Instagram. We're going to jump right into it. We're probably going to start with our debutant. Well, Shola, you're still there. Sorry. Okay, we're going to start with you because I mean, good man. Yeah, we're going to jump into it. We're going to discuss our various clubs' season so far.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to give you free reign, maybe for a few minutes. Give us your thoughts. Have you been optimistic about what's going on? Have you been pessimistic? I doubt you'll be pessimistic because that's not top of the league. But what are your thoughts so far?
So far so good. Yeah. It's been a good season so far. I mean, right now we're on top of the Premier League, so there's really nothing to complain about. However, personally still believe, because I was going through the games we've actually played this season, and I think we've actually been a little bit unlucky. Even though we've got 16 points from 6 games, I totally believe that that total should be 18. We should absolutely have got a draw at Anfield, and for whatever reason, I've not been able to get over that result. Even though we've actually gone on to win at Newcastle, and then we won our last match pretty easily against West Ham, but I still, somewhere at the back of my mind, I always still think about those 2 points. Sorry, that 1 point that we dropped at Anfield, which would have meant that if we got that 1 point, so it would have been 17 points, and then Liverpool would be 1 point. Or sorry, it'll be like 2 points.
Yeah,
2 points off. Yeah, so it would probably be like, it would be that way. But yeah, aside from that injustice that happened at Anfield, where I think it should absolutely have been a draw.
That's what champions do, man. That's what champions
do. That's what. Anyways, yeah, you can put it that way, but but aside from what happened at Anfield, I've been pretty comfortable. I was one of the few people that was actually very comfortable with the draw we got at the Emirates when we played Manchester City. I was very comfortable with that. I didn't have any issues with that. I didn't have any issues with the lineup. I was, and I was okay with the draw. I wasn't I didn't throw my toys out the pram like most of my friends on social media did after that game, and everybody was crisis talk after that. But by and large, I've been very, very comfortable, and I am enthused going into the like the remainder of the season. I've seen a lot of good things, that I feel will stand us in good stead for the remaining games, left this season, especially in the Premier League, because that's the one that most Arsenal fans want. We've come second 3 times in a row, and we need to find a way to win the Premier League this season. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see how it goes, but I'm super excited. There's so much I've seen a lot already that's making me very, very positive. Yeah.
Okay. Just before we go to the others, because I just want to follow up a couple of points.
Yeah.
Well, no, not any shade about the Anfield result. No, because I mean, for me, losing at your fellow contenders, I mean, it's not damaging. I understand what you mean. Like, it was a tight game.
It was for me, like, if
a world-class goal, basically.
Listen, if you go to Anfield and they absolutely batter you and you come out of there with a loss, there's no shame in it. But in a game of, I think after the game, Arne Slot said it best. Arne Slot said, if you play that game 10 times, it's going to end in a draw 8 times. Arsenal would win 1 time and Liverpool will win 1 time. That was how much of a margin was. Yeah, it was that tight. It was a close game. Even check the XG battle, I think it was like 0.52 Arsenal, 0.54 Liverpool. There were no clear chances. Both goalkeepers were literally they were literally on holiday, but it was sad. It was sad to lose in the fashion that we lost the game, But yeah,
but that shows how quickly, because there's something you said. You said it felt like crisis at that point.
At that point, yeah,
that's football. That was just like 2 weeks ago. It felt like Arsenal were in crisis. Now it's Liverpool that is in crisis. I mean, 2 weeks
exactly. And I was actually going to touch on. I didn't know if you were going to ask a question about that. So that everybody now says Arsenal are the favourites to win the Premier League. Like 2 weeks ago, that wasn't the case. 2 weeks ago, I'm going to quote Gary Neville, and where he said they don't have the chops for it. That's what he said. He said on one of his podcasts there, like, I think that was after we drew to City, he said we don't have the chops for it, and now we're top of the league. Just in 1 week, we I think we made up a 5-point differential in just 1 week. Yeah. Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace, and then they followed it up with another loss to Chelsea, and then we won both of our games. And that's how fast it can change. So even this notion of Arsenal are the favourites, I think it's still too early to begin to say one person is the favourite or one person is not the favourite. And a lot of people, again, just to deviate a little bit, a lot of people are not even talking about Manchester City, but I also think that they are on the up and coming, and they would cause a lot of problems. That man, Erling Haaland, is going to score 1,000 goals this season. There's nothing anybody.
Bro, I've said it on a previous episode of this podcast, maybe a couple of weeks ago. I said people just keep discounting Man City. It's not just the Man City factor. It's Pep Guardiola factor. People are just thinking, Man City, they're washed up, they're done. Don't forget, this Guardiola is still there.
Listen, there's something about managers that have been there and done that. And if anything is going to be a hurdle for us now this season, it's just the mentality. It's the mental side of it. Like, if you've not done it before, you're always in doubt. Like, can I do it? Can I get over the line? Once you've been there and done it, like Pep has been there, he's done it. He knows what to tell his players. He understands the business end of the season. He just knows how to get them there. And if you discount City,
you're really right for bringing that up, because I just think too many people have. I was like, why people discounting Man City? I know they were maybe 6 points behind, but that was not. Look now, they're just like 3 points off the top.
Yeah, 3 years, just 1 game behind. Yeah, it's 1 game behind now. Yeah.
We'll go to the Dio. Your thoughts on the season so far? I mean, Bayern Munich they've been in fantastic form. Harry Kane, like Shola said, Harry Kane looks like he's going to score 1,000 goals this season and assist also. And there was, I'll let you speak about Bayern Munich, but I'm curious about something that they're doing. I would like your thoughts about it after you've given your thoughts about your season so far. What are you thinking about the season? What do you think this season is going to end with? I mean, aside from a customary Bundesliga title, what are you thinking about?
So, I think this season is started way better than last season, and it comes with when you're winning. last season was company's first season. So when you're on a new job and you've not really proven yourself, you are under pressure. You don't want anything to go wrong because two bad results, everybody will be like, we told you so. He's not on this level. But him winning has given him some confidence to try some new things. And the whole team is reacting positively to him. And it's more like a big brother to all of them. Like, he brings that warmth, camaraderie, like, the players want to defend him. And so he stuck with his tactics. And most people felt like, okay, company to Bayern Munich, from Burnley to Bayern Munich. Oh, how did he get that job? Who did he know? Whose uncle did he know?
Me, for example, I said that.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, it's one time for a fellow brother to fail up for two. Let him. Yeah, it's not only let us to get the benefit of the doubt, like others have been getting. So I'm glad he got it, and he's running away with it, and he's convincing people. So the mood is better now. In a big club in Bayern Munich, if you don't win, anything you bring to the table is useless. You can have all the best tactics as long as you don't win. Nobody wants to hear about it. But it's winning and it's doing better now. So the main challenge now will now be the big games. How does he handle the big games? He can. Okay, well, I don't know if Chelsea will count, but he handled Chelsea and yeah. So the biggest game is gonna.
Somebody's already firing bullets.
but PSG, we have PSG, and we have the greatest team in Europe for this season coming up, which is Arsenal. Like, we might as well take our hair early and apologize for all our transgressions in the past, and Arsenal should just take it easy on us, because Arsenal will come. Because and to go to Shola's point, Arsenal, all jokes aside, Arsenal is a very disciplined and a very, I don't know how to put it. Arteta has worked on that team and they are very difficult to beat.
Yes.
They don't have any obvious weakness.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't have any obvious weakness. Their defense is very solid. Their midfield, they has bought a lot of strong guys that they will match you. Energy for energy, anything for anything. Like, we are not going to create opportunity. We are not creating anything here. We all he has gone to almost Mourinho 2004 mode. We get 1-0 like this, forget about it. Just go home, plan for the next game.
But that's a misconception, though. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah, because when you have a midfield of Merino, Rice, Zubimendi.
No, but he has Eze now. He has added Eze to that.
And now Eze. So I can't even see their weakness. I can't even see where the weakness is. So, and they have depth too. They have three wingers for each side. Eze, Trossard, Martinelli on one side, Saka, Nwaneri, Madueke on one side. I know I guess it's the year as now we'll finally break the dog, maybe win the league, or even probably go as far as winning the Champions League. So Ola, you had a question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's further to what I was about to say. I mean, for you personally, I'm sure winning the Bundesliga alone is not going to be like anything new. The Champions League will obviously be top priority. But I'm seeing something that the company is doing. You guys got Nicholas Jackson. Then I saw one of your games, or a couple of your games, where Kane and Jackson have played together.
Yeah.
So in that situation, do you think it's feasible again in the big games? Like now you're talking about Arsenal, about maybe PSG. Is that a tactic? Do you think it's going to stick with that tactic in the big game where it's playing company and when it's playing Kane and Nicholas Jackson together up front? Is that
I don't think so, because that is going to be too top heavy, because we still have to play maybe Luis Diaz and we'll have to play Olise. So that's 4 dedicated attackers. You can't, and that would mean you are only playing with 2 midfielders.
Yeah, but in that case, I thought maybe the way I saw it, I thought maybe Kane was dropping back.
Yeah, he can drop back all he wants, but his instinct is still not in midfield. His instinct will still be like go up front. So, and if you play like an Arsenal, what Arteta would just do, would just crowd you with 3 guys, all those 3 heavy guys, Zubimendi, Rice, and
lock him down
and lock you down. And I believe, my own opinion is, games are won in midfield. A midfield can compensate for a bad defense, I can also compensate for a bad attack. Like there have been times like, okay, see all the guys Guardiola was playing in defense. They are not all that exceptional, but his midfield was so strong that they will not go anywhere. Like so when you are strong in midfield, you can compensate. So I would not use that kind of tactic against a strong team, a strong Arsenal.
So who would you put then? Okay, for example, Musiala is still not back.
Mhm.
So instead of playing, so you play. I'm talking about the big games because I mean, for priority for Bayern Munich is Champions League. So we're not talking about maybe Chelsea, like you said. We're talking about the proper teams. So
you are not talking about the world champion.
No, come on. Forget that team, world champion. They should
Show some respect,
that
please.
world champion. So before I come to, sorry for keeping you, Ariba, but I just want, because I'm always curious. The thing is, I don't watch as many. I used to watch other leagues very well before, but now I don't. So anytime I get somebody from another league, I always want to get their insights. So just a few more minutes, a couple of minutes. So you play Kane up front. So who will now be in the midfield behind him?
Well, for now, we are using Gnabry.
Where?
As a 10.
As a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Typically, he's not a 10. That was why he played against Chelsea too. So Gnabry played 10, and Jackson was on the bench. Gnabry is not the ideal 10. And actually, personally, my own personal opinion is a 10 has no place in modern football anymore.
Yeah.
Because teams will outbox you. So in most cases, most 10s are drifting to the wings. Unless if you want to play a 10, you need two strong guys to be behind him. Maybe like a Caicedo and like very strong guys that can do all the work,
like
that can carry the load. Yes, they have to carry the load for them because that 10, and that is the problem I'm seeing with Liverpool. I spoke about it. Like they want to play Florian Wirtz as a 10. That means you are overloading whoever the two in midfield are, Gravenberg and McAllister. So transitions, that's where they'll be targeting because your 10 will get attracted into the box. And, when you transition, you can beat them on 3-2. And so I'm not really, instead of playing a real 10, like an attacking midfielder, like a Musiala, like a Wirtz, I would prefer maybe like a central midfielder, like someone like a De Bruyne, a Gundogan that can play on the other side, so that can defend, that's comfortable defending. A little bit, not that you have to be a DM, but you can be a CM, like you can, the days used to have Wijnaldum, that used to have used to have Jordan Henderson, that they can help you because
like an hybrid.
Like an hybrid. It's you are good on both sides. You can,
basically Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, yes, Declan Rice, You get, or maybe
interesting. Because I'm just curious. Oh yeah. MVP of Italian Serie A last season.
That's a great pool you just pulled out there, McTominay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go to Arinze. Aribaba. Okay, give us your thoughts about the season so far. Let's even start going into the season. What were you expecting, and has that expectation been matched so far in the first few games?
Once we got all the players in, I think the biggest concern before Eze got in was Martinelli was a very weak link on the left, and it was very predictable. I think that was the issue, right? So everything would always sway towards the right, and anything that went to the left, I used to say it goes there to die. But once Eze came in, it now kind of added a new dimension. Eze can play on the left, he can play on the midfield. So it's almost kind of, and then Trossard is now coming back. It makes that left a little bit more dynamic. At the beginning of the season, and once all the players got in, I looked at our schedule, right? First 7 games, by far the hardest of any team. And I said, well, if we are able to get 2 wins and 2 draws from Man U, Newcastle, Liverpool, and City, I think that's fine. Right now, we ended up getting 3 wins or 2 wins, a draw, and a loss, which is not too terrible, but I wouldn't have predicted where the win will come from. I did not predict a Newcastle win at all. Man U, I kind of figured would win, first game of the season, and I wanted to get that game over with because I think, at least I assumed Man U will get stronger, but we'll park that one to the side.
I hope you assume wrong.
I assume Man U will get stronger. But all things said and done, I think we've had a really good start to the season. again, I think the most impressive thing with Arsenal, we have conceded 3 goals in every competition. That is honestly outstanding. So when we talk about Mourinho 2004, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, at least defensively, right? That we can. What did Mourinho concede? That like 12
15 goals?
No, it was 15. I actually did. I did check before we came on the podcast.
Yeah.
If we continue at this rate, we'll concede 16 goals.
16 goals, right?
Yes.
Almost.
But keep in mind, we've played Liverpool away. We've played Man City once. We've played Newcastle, and we've played United.
You've gone to Old Trafford, yeah.
Exactly, United. Pack that one to the side. So,
true.
But I mean, and this is Champions League. We haven't conceded. League Cup, okay, fine. We didn't play anybody, but we still haven't conceded. That's extremely impressive. So if I want to say, I won't discount Man City because of Pep, but if there's anything that's going to give us the edge over Man City, it'll be that defensive record. Man City still concede a lot of random goals.
Like
They'll score a lot, but they'll still concede a lot of random goals to anybody. Anybody that has some kind of attacking balls about them, they'll score against Man City. Just like Man City might score like 3 or 4. But overall, very impressive. In my opinion, the way I think Arsenal can win the season is just to give everybody a gap pretty quickly, right? I think while Liverpool is, figuring out what's going on, I think Man City will eventually click. If we keep it close with Man City going into February, March, I will get nervous at that point, because then you're looking at Pep City versus an Arsenal that hasn't won before. But if by February, same way Liverpool won the league last season, right? Like, just if by February, March, you're given like number 2, like 10 points gap, right? Where they now start saying, should we even focus on this? Should we focus on Champions League? Should we focus, then, hey, stroll to win the league. And I feel like to beat Man City, that's almost what you have to do. You can't keep it a close race. I don't think anybody has beaten Man City since Pep has been there in a close race. When Chelsea won it with Conte, they gave gap. When Liverpool won it, COVID, they gave gap. Last year, they gave gap, right? Anytime you keep it close with Man City, they just know how to win the last 20 games. If it's 20 games they need to win, they'll win those 20 games. So overall, I think Arsenal has the best chance of giving everybody a gap, because everybody else still has small K-leg, if you will. And Arsenal is a team that doesn't. So again, in the next block of 7-8 games, accumulate points. Just be accumulating points. Keep it boring. Arsenal, West Ham was boring, dry. Nobody blinked an eye. It's fine. Just keep it 2-0, 3-0. Just be accumulating those points. Keep the drama away. Drama is for the big games, right? But the other games, just keep it boring, right? Nobody should even be talking. Yeah, people can talk about Liverpool and Chelsea and other teams. And then let's wake up one day like, wait, we're 10 points ahead. Cautiously optimistic.
One thing I'll throw to you. For me, I mean, Arsenal's recruitment has been great, but I mean, coming into this season, I think you guys just addressed all the gaps that you needed to address. You strengthened in the right areas. In fact, I now think that maybe you now have even too many good players. It might be an issue. It should not ever be an issue for a coach.
I think in some positions we actually have too many players.
I think you guys have.
It's something a lot of fans don't want to talk about, but if you don't go far in some competitions, it might be a problem. I think at left back we've got too many players.
Yeah,
we've got Calafiori, we've got Skelly, and then we've got the guy who's not even played a game yet. We've got Nkape as well. So in some positions.
It's even helping because you guys actually that's one good thing, because you guys have some injuries, but it's not throwing you off course. Like Odegaard is injured again. He has been injured twice or thrice. What's his name? Alberts is out. You have not even missed them. So that's why squad depth is good. Sorry?
Jesus.
Does he still play for us?
He still plays. But he'll come back and give us one or two goals in January or February. We'll take it like that.
Before he goes back to the hospital bed.
Exactly.
Let's not laugh about the guy. I mean, he's not choosing to be injured, but unfortunately his body is failing him. That's just it. My main point was there was something Shola said earlier where he said he was happy with the lineup coming to Anfield. And of course, after Liverpool won that match, I gleefully went to watch some Arsenal videos of fans reacting. And one of the things we were like, oh, why did you not start Eze? Why didn't even against Man City? I think Eze came on 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, this is the problem with Arteta. He's too conservative. Now, I just want to ask both of you: do you think that conservative nature might hold him back eventually? Because that's what he's been accused of. I'm not saying I agree with these people saying it, but many people keep saying, oh, he's too conservative. Why is he not putting the creative guy in the midfield? Why is he benching him? All of that. Do you think that might be the thing that might hold him back eventually from getting you guys trophies this team deserves?
Arinze, you can go first.
Yeah, I get where he was going, right, with Liverpool. And even with Man City, right? But I think what Arteta needs to realize is how good of a squad he has. I think maybe he's still burnt from scars of going to Anfield and getting walloped and getting beat 4-5-1 at home by Man City. But these teams now fear us. And that's maybe the switch he has to make. Is Man City in their heyday, they'll show up with everybody in their team and they'll say, you know what, we'll play you the same way we play at home, same way we play away. You know, De Bruyne, Gundogan, doesn't matter. We're not going to change our tactic for you. Not change our tactic. We'll maybe tweak the tactic a little bit. But we're not going to go defensive for anybody, even when they went to Liverpool, right? If we lose, we lose. And I think that's what Arteta needs to do in some big games, right? Not all, but in some big games. He needs to be able to just say, you know what, we are better than you. And I think it also transmits to the team. So if you play three, I don't like calling Miguel Moreno a defensive midfielder, but he's not Eze or Odegaard, right? So if you play three of the same box to box, it might transmit to the team that, okay, we're being a little bit cautious versus, you know, if you play Odegaard and Eze, then you now give Liverpool and Man City something to think about, right? So I think he will adapt. And if there's one thing about Arteta, he learns very quickly. Every single season that we've come second, we fix the mistakes from that season. Yeah. And that's how we end up here with a full squad, everybody top notch. And, you know, injuries can happen to Odegaard, Saka, Havertz, no blinking, no shaking. We're still going. So I think he'll adjust for sure. I think maybe as he gets to trust the new players, trust the squad, trust the depth, then I think as the season goes, he'll adapt accordingly.
Okay, Shola, I'm sorry, let me just get, because Shola said he was happy with that lineup coming to Anfield. So let me just get his perspective and I'll come to you, Dayo. So Shola, what do you think about the accusations?
I'm going to just say, I'm going to, you know, like say a few things, a couple of points about the old conservatism and all that. It's a point that I just cannot go along with. So in the last 3 seasons in the Premier League, there's only one team that has scored more goals than Arsenal, and it's Man City, and it's by, if my math is not mistaken, but since the last time I checked, I think it was by between 8 to 10 goals. So I think they scored like 240 something, and Arsenal has scored 230 something in that time frame. By far and away, Arsenal has the best defense. So if Manchester City are like the landmark, or like they are the, you know, like the beaming light for who you look up to when it comes to attacking football, and we are just in the last 3 seasons, Arsenal, the conservative Arteta Arsenal, has scored 10 to 12 less goals than them, then it is one of those things that the media throw in the faces of fans, and because a lot of people are too lazy to check, nobody really cares to check, you know, like, and then it begins to gain a lot of ground. And one thing I've noticed again about the old football discussions online is, once the big guns, the big guys, I'm talking about the Gary Nevilles, the Carragers, once they begin to parrot a narrative, once they begin to say something, whether it is true or whether it is not true, it begins to stick in the mind of fans to the point where people don't even bother to fact check anymore, you know, like, so first and foremost, I don't agree with the viewpoint of Arteta being a conservative manager. The goals that we've scored in the last 3, the kind of football that we've played in the last few seasons, I think, again, maybe because we're also solid at the back. So people always tend to look at the fact that, for example, look at the Madrid game, for example. Did you at any point during the Madrid game, you know, both home and away, think that we were playing Boko Haram football, you know, like, so, but because you don't concede, or because you get to a point where maybe you concede 2 goals in 10 games, or you concede 3 goals in 12 games, as the case is this season now, people just tend to be just, oh, it's conservative. No, it's not conservative. And also I think the point I want to make is one player don't. Again, it's up for contention, but I don't believe that Merino, take out Merino, put Eze. I don't believe it's as people like to look at football as binary, like it's 1+1. It's 1+1 equals 2 or 2, or it's black and white. Football is so unpredictable. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. Do you get what I mean? Ironically, it was when we had Eze and Odegaard on the pitch. That was when we considered that goal at so it's not really as simple as or it's not, people make it out to be like again, we also live in a world where people always try to find a scapegoat. So when you lose a game, even though the other team just played better on the night, we are always looking for somebody to scapegoat, or we're always looking for a situation. So if it's not the coach, it's because he started Merino. And if he had not started Merino and started Eze that day and we lost by 4, people would have said, oh, why did he not just bed Eze in? Like that game at Anfield was too soon for him. He should have, So I just believe that, a lot of things, a lot of factors come together at the end of the day, like from even the information that the players give off on the training ground and things of that nature. So many, and like we live in a world of analytics now, so many things come into play. It's not as simple as you plug and play, remove this player, put that player, you win 4-0. If it was, then if it was, then everybody would be doing it.
Okay, Daniel, you wanted to say something?
Really, if there's this stigma, which or maybe this tag about conservative football. There's nothing wrong with it. You just want to win. Everybody does not have to play like Pep. You have your strength, you do it. And, whatever I played at Anfield, it took a free kick, a magical free kick to do it. If you had played 10 Ronaldos on that field or 10 Messis on that field, that free kick will still enter. So what's the big deal about all the... you get... And, everybody does not have to play like Pep. And it comes... And especially an Arsenal team that is still growing, they have the manpower right now, but they're still short on confidence. They've not won anything. Yeah. So they need to win something before... Pep can play Gundogan as 6 and play Haaland as...
He can do whatever he wants.
Play Henderson as 9. He has done it before. His players are giving up that confidence. If Arsenal should go to Anfield, play whatever Eze you want him to play, and they get destroyed, then that team starts to crack. And they start to... So first things first, when you are playing a game, especially, you have to... Part of being a great coach is to respect your opponent. You are going to Anfield. Anfield is never the easiest place for anybody, even if you are Prime Madrid. Respect your opponent. Let's go here. Okay, we are going here for 90 minutes. Arteta, in your mind, what's the first thing you want to do? I don't want to lose. If I come with a point, that's a great result already. It's Anfield. But if I manage to get 3, that's excellent. You're not going to go to Anfield and say, oh, let me go smash them in Anfield. It doesn't happen, especially not with this Liverpool. So, so there are so many... The thing about football and internet and social media, there are so many Einsteins on the floor, on people like me that cannot kick, that can't even kick for 2 meters. We have opinion about everything. Even all these Gary Nevilles and Carragher's too. They have to, when you're in the business of saying something every day, you have to come up with content. So you misyan a lot. So it's put them in the position of Arteta. Let's see what they will do and get smashed 7-0 at Anfield. And now come back and say, and we get into all this analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
It's 38 games. You lose some, you gain some. So so far I don't think Arteta has done anything wrong. Okay, he didn't win at Anfield, big deal. He lost points against Anfield and Man City. So
so can I just add one more thing? So this particular season, this particular game at Anfield, right? And it might, I agree, it's not really about the lineup like Moreno or whoever, right? I mean, I think we have been bolder at Anfield in previous seasons, personally, right? We went to Anfield 2 or 3 seasons ago, almost won, right? Yeah. If not because Zinchenko, just doesn't know how to defend, and we had that cross at the end, and that was it. That was almost a victory, right? And we did not go in there. Odegaard played, essentially it was the same lineup we had the whole season. We went in there and we almost won. Last season, what was it, 2 seasons ago?
2-2. Last season, 2 or 2-2.
Yeah, last season we came back from 2 goals down.
2-0 down, yeah.
Last season came out from 2 goals down. So I think my disappointment, and it's not necessarily about the lineup, I think it was the approach. And I get it. This is a Liverpool team that champions, all that stuff, and they were flying high three games in a row at that time. But I have seen us play braver at Anfield than we did.
I think that Liverpool team was there for the taking, to be honest.
And I think exactly. And I think that was my frustration at the end of that game. Look, it's not things can change in a week, right? But my frustration was, like I remember I've watched Man City, I've watched even the old Man U, Chelsea, right? They smell vulnerability.
They sense it.
They sense it, and they go in and they just go. They
execute,
right? They execute. So you go there and you win. Even Liverpool has come to Arsenal when Arsenal was vulnerable. And I still remember that 4-1 game. It was like, Wenger, is Liverpool for real? And Mane and Firmino and everything came to come and dance at Emirates. 4-1, right?
It was 4-1 going into the last
few minutes. Ended 4-3. There you go. Right? So you go, and I think, again, forget the lineup, I think it's just that ability to go in there and impose yourself on your opposition that I want to see Arteta do. Not with Chelsea. With Chelsea, with Man U, that one, they're not at the same level. But with Man City away, with Liverpool away, I feel like that's the next step. And I think thing, right? It's not really even set up. It's a belief that we can go there and win, right? And again, to me, the difference between a loss and a point, in the grand scheme of things, you can lose the league by 1 point, but at the beginning of the season, you have so much ground to make up that 1 point, right? It's almost like a message, like I would rather get 3 points than just settle for 1 point. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, it's all down to mentality. Let me give my own thoughts as a Liverpool fan, because everybody has given their own thoughts, and this ties in to what Arinze said. I agree with what Dayo and Shola also said. That sometimes a coach will just have to set up and say, okay, maybe I'll take a point. But why I agree with Arinze was I believe Liverpool was there. I was watching that match first half, and I was like, we're not winning this game. I was watching because you guys have said it. There were no cracks for Liverpool to exploit in that Arsenal match. And I felt we were there for the taking. I felt maybe if Arsenal had been a bit, I wouldn't say they were not bold. Maybe just a bit more intense with their attacking, I think Liverpool would have cracked. And why I'm saying that now is not in hindsight, because you can see now how vulnerable we've looked after that. That was the last time Liverpool kept a clean sheet. That was the last time we kept a clean sheet. We've considered goals, multiple goals in the subsequent games. So that ties into my thoughts for the season, that Liverpool, the first thing that happened coming into the season that gave me alarm bells was when we could not get McGahey over the line.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason we wanted to get McGahey. We had 4 center backs. One of our center backs was an 18-year-old that we got from Italy that played only less than 20 games in his whole career. So we wanted McGahey. We knew we wanted him because we know that 18-year-old boy, we cannot rely on him. Now, fate being fate, the 18-year-old boy played 60 minutes, ACL gone. Now we have only 3 center backs. One of them is Konate, who Madrid are already whispering sweet nothings in his ear. So his head is like he's facing Madrid, but he's also facing Anfield, so he's playing nonsense. So we have Van Dijk, who is getting old, who is doing twerking for Caicedo to score. So defense is a big problem for us. And like you guys have rightly said, most championship winning teams have very good defense. Like you must be able to keep clean sheets. We've not kept a clean sheet since the Arsenal game 5-6 games ago. We've been conceding every single game, sometimes 2 goals, sometimes it's been crazy. So that's my big problem for this season for Liverpool. I don't see us doing anything of note if we don't fix that first. And it's a big problem because we can't fix it now. We have to wait to January. And even January is not sure because McGahey might prefer to stay in Crystal Palace and wants to win maybe Conference League or whatever they're playing in. So that it's not even guaranteed that we're going to get him in January. So that means we're going to be stuck with 3 center backs for the rest of the season. That's a big problem for me. Scoring goals is not my problem. Liverpool will score goals.
Yeah.
We'll score goals. We score goals. That's not a problem. We'll find goals. But conceding is a big problem. And our midfield, now, this shows you how worried Ernest is. Against Chelsea, we finished the four defenders at the back. We finished with 2 midfielders in defense. We finished with Soboslai at right back and Gravenberch at centre back.
Our centre back,
That shows that is that not a problem already? Two of your best midfielders are playing in defense because he doesn't trust the right back. We bought a right back, and this is the funny thing. This is when fans are always talking about emotion over emotion. When Trent was going, I was not among them because they were all slandering Trent. Oh, he's shit. Oh no, let him go to Madrid. He's stupid. This is that. Now we're missing Trent because the right backs we have bought are not up to scratch, and Arne Slot does not trust any of those. Does not trust Bradley. Does not trust Frimpong. Now he's putting Szoboszlai there. He's putting Szoboszlai at right back.
And weakening your midfield.
Of course. So it's a knock-on effect. So as a Liverpool fan, I feel if that defense is not sorted, it's going to cost us. And at the moment, the coach also knows it. That's why he's playing Gravenberch at centre back. We have Joe Gomez on the bench. He's not putting him there. He's putting Gravenberch at centre back. That shows you what's going on. So
can I quickly make a point on the Liverpool game, please? Just a general point about Arsenal and. So the point I want to make about the Liverpool game, I think is also worthy of note that, in the game Arsenal was missing. I think we didn't have Bukayo Saka. There was no Martin Odegaard. Saliba went off after like 2 minutes.
Like 1 or 2 minutes.
There was somebody else. There was somebody else that was missing in that game. I can't remember. I can't really touch it now. I mean, obviously we've not had Havertz all season. So I think we didn't have Odegaard as well from the start. So I think all these also played into the whole package of, okay, you know what? I'm going to go with Merino. I'm going to keep it tight. And if we get one goal, we'll be able to do. That probably. Also, just looking at it holistically, like, on a bigger scale, we are one of the best we have one of the best defenses in Europe in the last 3 years. Like, in the toughest league in the world, and this is with due respect to the Bayern Munich fan in the house, like in the toughest league in the world, we've considered only 3. We've considered only. Why do a lot of fans think we've considered only 3 goals? It's not only because of Saliba and Gabriel. Yes, they are exceptional at what they do, but we've built a structure in such a way that, like we're just difficult to score against, and it has to do with the attack. It's got something to do with the midfield. It's got something to do with the fullback, and it's got something to do with the. So it's like you want to eat your cake and have it. You want to be like AC Milan of Maldini and Baresi or whatever the case is, and you also want to be the prime Messi.
I think there's a balance. I'm not saying. I don't think Arinze is saying you have to be that.
No. I wasn't speaking on. Arinze made very good points. I was just speaking about the general consensus out there. Like, like there's a like I said, like there's a media narrative out there that a lot of fans have swallowed hook, line, sinker to say, oh, we don't attack enough, or we play some kind of football. And I just think that people forget that there's a defensive base, and the reason why we have that solid defensive base is because of how Arteta has built the team. And like you cannot eat your cake and also have it at the same time. Like something has to give for something at the end of the day. That's what I believe.
But like you said, you guys are still scoring a lot of goals. So
we're still scoring a lot. It's like again, like I came out of the West Ham game. I was very, very satisfied. That was the easiest 2-0. And then I went online, and then we could have scored 5. Like they were there. And
the first mistake you did is you went online. You went online is never a good gauge. I don't post about that. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Instagram.
Liverpool or whatever would have smashed them for 5.
No. Look,
what is going on here?
You wind yourself up reading all the comments online. You wind yourself up. There's too many uninformed people. I'm not saying we are experts. Nobody knows everything. Even Pep Guardiola does not know everything about. It's not like he's perfect. So nobody is perfect knowledge about football. But online, it amplifies it. And some people say things just to get reaction. Some people say things to get traction. So I've learned to ignore most of what I see online, especially from Liverpool fans, because I know many of them just talk nonsense. Sometimes you just get that. Some are just doing it to vent. Some they might not even believe what they are saying. They're just typing it to vent. And some they're just typing it because they want reaction. Some they're typing it because they want to trend. So don't judge anything. That's just my advice. I'm not saying you don't have Twitter or Instagram, whatever, but just don't go out there and start reading comments and get wound up. because there are too many people that will just wind you up. But let's go to the next topic. I think we've all done justice to this topic, to the first topic. So we're going to the second topic. This just popped in my mind because I think I saw something about retrospective punishments. Somebody got retrospectively punished, and I was now thinking, what about if we just did a retrospective reward? And obviously we're going to limit it to one player. So maybe like the player that you felt, man, this guy really did well for my country or for my club, and ended up not winning what he deserved to win. So I just want you to nominate one player, maybe from a club, from a country, or maybe from both. I think we still have time. One from each, who deserved to have won something but didn't, and you just like, okay, I have the chance to award you this thing that you didn't win when you were with us. Take it. So I'll start with Dio. What are you going with? Are you going with just your club or country or both?
Well, I didn't know it was mine. I thought it was just football generally. So
okay. Well, yeah, no, it doesn't have to be. Yeah.
So I picked.
You're correct. It doesn't have to be Bayern Munich. It doesn't have to be Bayern Munich. Any club or country. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked R9 for Champions League.
Oh yeah.
And John Cryer for World Cup.
That's a great shout. He never won the Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah, because R9, I consider him one of the best players ever, top 3 all time. And he never won the Champions League. Of course, Maradona never won to. So,
wow, that's fantastic. That's a fantastic answer.
And Jan Cruyff never won the World Cup.
So Jan Cruyff for the World Cup and R9 for the Champions League. Wow, fantastic. We're off to a great start. Yeah, we're off to a great start. Let's go with Arinze. I know, obviously, maybe Arsenal fans will just go straight to Thierry Henry, but let's hear what
I mean, Thierry Henry won everything, right?
Not with Arsenal though.
Not with Arsenal, but the one person. So if I had to pick, I mean, this is not for us. This is not for Arsenal. Just in general, I'm just picking a player in general. First person for Champions League, Zlatan. Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic never won the Champions League, and I'm a huge fan of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, right? So that is the one trophy that I think eluded him. And from an Arsenal perspective, not for an Arsenal trophy, but Laurent Koscielny should have won the World Cup with France, right? Wow. He was injured, he tore his ACL and was out for 9 months, and he had played for France all through, right? Narrowly missed the European Championship when they lost to Portugal. And 2 years later, they go win the World Cup and he's not in the team. So,
wow.
Yeah. And I watched an interview with him, like when you're talking about like watching France win the World Cup. And it was a very emotional interview because he said he really wanted France to win, but it was part of him that felt that France should not win. So he wouldn't feel as bad for not winning the World Cup with France. And I just thought it was a very, very emotional interview, very touching view on things. So Laurent Koscielny is the one person that I wish would have won the World Cup with France.
That was so unlucky.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's great. Yeah, fantastic answer, man. Shola, do you have any nominees?
Oh my God, mine is very simple. For me, it would be Thierry Henry not winning the Champions League at Arsenal. It still hurts to this day. Honestly, like 2006 was the perfect opportunity for us to win the Champions League. By the way, Thierry Henry is my second favorite footballer of all time, and is my favorite Arsenal footballer of all time, and him not winning in 2006 when we had like chance after chance after chance, and just that day couldn't find this scoring boots for whatever reason. And for me, just Thierry Henry. Honestly, I really wish he won the Champions League. And just on a similar note, not a footballer, I also wish Arsene Wenger won the Champions League at Arsenal. It would most likely never get to win it again. Obviously, he stopped coaching now, but I really wish he actually did. Yeah, because one of them people that I really, really have a lot of time for. I really, really like the man, and so Thierry Henry, Arsene Wenger. I wish they both they won the Champions League at Arsenal. Obviously, Thierry Henry's gone on to win it at Barcelona.
Yeah.
But I actually if I could hand it over to him, and I think Thierry Henry also winning the Ballon d'Or. There was if my memory don't fail me, there was a year where he could have won it, and I think they gave it to Pavel.
Not just could, he should have won it that year.
He should have won it, and then they gave it to Pavel Nedved that year, and I think Nedved scored like 6 goals or something that year, and Thierry Henry was something ridiculous like that. Yeah, so those ones actually do stick. Those ones stick. The Thierry Henry winning Champions League at Arsenal and him also win, because he never actually did. He was never able to capture that Ballon d'Or form again. But there was a year, the Pavel Nedved year, he should probably have won it.
Yeah. I think maybe this will offend the Arsenal fans. I think Thierry Henry.
We know what's coming.
Yeah, I know Thierry. I think Thierry Henry is the anti-Drogba. He's the big game choke. He's the classic guy that chokes at the biggest stage. If you depend on Thierry Henry for the big games, he will choke. Unlike Drogba, that he does not do anything in the league, but when the big games come, that's when Drogba will spread his chest and just be beating up everybody, like he did in Munich against in the Champions League final when Chelsea were on the ropes and Drogba just brought his head out of nowhere. Because that 2006 Champions League final that you lost, some of the blame has to go to Thierry Henry. He missed a couple of chances. And, there was even a meme about him squatting in the corner flag at the 71st minute, thinking he had won the World Cup. He had done enough to win. And he faced Valdez twice and he missed the chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was it not 10 against 11? Somebody got
it was 10 against. Yes.
It was 10 against 11, yes. But we had Thierry Henry had 3 good chances. Like I'm talking about really good one-on-one chances, and he should absolutely
he buries those every day. Like
every day of the week he does. Every single day he does bury those chances.
But that day just not.
And if finals are tough. Finals are tough. So I let him off. I mean, strikers miss chances, so I usually tend to side with strikers in this conversation because I like strikers. I always bat for striker. I'll be like, man, strikers they are the life and blood of the game. So even if they miss chances, I'm like, well, it happens. As long as he's still top scorer in Arsenal's history of all time. He has a statue outside. I beg, let's free the guy. Let's take Ayo's comment. Ayo, thanks for joining us. Ayo said he wanted Bruno to win the Europa last season. I don't know, that's tongue in cheek. He's a Man United fan. So he said, obviously, all his other favorites have got their medals on the table. He said he wanted Bruno to win the Europa. Well, we believe you, Ayo. Bruno from
Onana will have won too. Maguire.
Bruno for president. Well, for Liverpool, I'll go with I won't go with Gerrard because Gerrard will be the obvious one, but I'm going with Luis Suarez. And the reason why I say that is I think the best season I've seen from a Liverpool player one season, if we're judging by one season, is from Luis Suarez. Yeah. Luis Suarez, that was the 2013-14 season.
Yep, 2013.
He missed the first 5 games because he had done something stupid, of course. I think he beat somebody, which is normal for Luis Suarez. So he didn't even start the season. But then this guy came and that was the season before he wanted to go to Arsenal.
Yeah.
That was the season when he was striking and saying, oh, I want to go to Arsenal, go and play Champions League football. And then Arsenal brought 40 million plus £1. And we said, what are you guys smoking? So we held on to him. We said, no, you're not going anywhere. But what we promised him was that, okay, stay with us one more season. And then you can get your move, whatever. And I think maybe that motivated him coming into the season. Like, okay, let me just do my best so I can just leave this place. As he wanted out of Liverpool. But that was the best season I've ever seen from a Liverpool player. I mean, Salah has been fantastic. Salah had a great season last season.
Last year, yeah.
Salah's numbers actually even exceeded what Suarez did in 2013-14. Salah's number was like 56 goal contributions. Suarez didn't get up to that. But Suarez, the quality he brought that season, man, the quality, if just like some of his goals were just like you could put them in the top 10 of the season. Just some of his goals, just compare them.
That was one of the best seasons by a player in the Premier League.
Oh my God!
By far, it was. And I think I think Luis Suarez's career gets a little bit overlooked, underrated, probably because of his off-field
Off the pitch
shenanigans.
incidents, yeah.
Even
Even when he went to Barcelona, he had a great
he
career
had,
at Barcelona.
he did. He's one of the best strikers I have ever watched, I've ever seen. He's up there. He is up there, and he's I remember the season you're talking about. He was on a mission to destroy.
Oh, it was a mission to destroy. It was not just to destroy, but he wanted to leave Liverpool too. Because he left to Barcelona straight after that season. He sold him for 75 million or something. So he was motivated. He wanted to, because like, okay, we didn't let him go to Arsenal. We're like, stay one more season, just stay one more season. And he was like, okay, I'll give you one more season.
that season, Liverpool. That if I want to see, there's a historic bottle job in the league. Brendan Rodgers. This is why I'll never trust Brendan Rodgers with any team personally. That was the greatest bottle job. I remember watching that Liverpool-Chelsea game, and I was like, "This is where you just need to draw.
Just draw is enough. Honestly, draw was enough in that match.
It's okay. Back the boss." And you're like, "No, these are my principles." And the way that last 3-4 games just collapsed, it was like, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything so spectacular," and it was so sad.
Yeah, for us, we've won the league a couple of times after, but what's so sad about that season was the match before we played against Man City, we beat them 3-2, and Gerrard was shouting, "This must not sleep. This must not sleep."
Yeah. That was the game where you guys won the league.
Match,
in my opinion, that was the game you guys won the league. Go to Chelsea, collect 0-0, and even when you went to Crystal Palace,
that 3-3 Crystal Palace,
it still wasn't over. At least give it to the last game, right? And oh man, as in you know, I remember watching. I was like, "This is absolutely spectacular," and I actually wanted Liverpool to win that season because I'm never a smash.
Yeah, we all wanted to, unfortunately. So Suarez went and he didn't win it. But for country, I'm going to just nominate Kanu Wanko. He never won the AFCON, and I felt it deserved. Wow. I mean, like a continental trophy. He won everything else in his career. I mean, at club level. But I mean, the one that was most painful was the 2000 AFCON, where I mean, he was balling hard in that tournament from first match to final match. Then we got to the final, and Cameroon did their thing, just came to strike. They've won 3 AFCONs based on like they've beaten us in the final 3 times, and that was
Was it the Ipeba one?
That was the Ipeba penalty, the one that crossed the line.
Kanu to miss the penalty.
Kanu to miss the penalty in the final,
In that game?
Was worse.
Oh my God.
Ipeba scored and put his hand on his head like this. And then
that ball, you know that ball crossed the line, right?
Oh, clearly.
It clearly crossed. They're celebrating. Don't just put your hand on your head.
It was so painful. I mean, out of the matches I still consider most painful, that one was one of the most painful. Against Cameroon, oh my God! And of course, Cameroon never got to win. Never got to win the AFCON because of that. Let's quickly take comments before we go to our final topic. So Ayo was just giving his view about the 2006 Champions League final. Thinks Arsene Wenger did not manage the final well. He probably did not need to remove Perez in that final. Yeah, okay, that's an opinion there.
That's
and
true,
then he says Suarez starting 14 is the biggest carry job I've ever seen. Thank goodness for CBG. Of course, he's a Man United fan beefing. Of course, he carried us. Suarez carried. Now let's not discuss Daniel Sturridge.
That was Sterling and
Sturridge was good too. Suarez was like.
Oh my God, no! Sturridge was good, but I believe like Suarez made Sturridge better. Like
step up. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it kind of like. Yeah, I think that was Raheem Sterling's breakout. I'm not sure, but was it?
That was his breakout season too. Yeah.
Oh my God, he made. You know, there are certain players that make the people around them better. Like just make them play better, make them feel better about themselves. Suarez did that for Sturridge because I don't think Sturridge was ever the same. Sturridge was not the same player the next season when Suarez joined.
Never reached that level again. He never reached that level.
I know Sterling went on to City and he scored a lot of goals. He won lots of trophies, but just based on football alone, I don't know. It's up for
very well
debate.
that season. Yeah, it was 18.
He played very well that season.
18 going to be 19 that season. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, so those are my answers. Yeah, we've done justice to that topic, so we'll go to our final topic for today. I know you, somebody, Tosishola was mentioning Arsene Wenger. Well, Arsene Wenger has been coming up fantastic ideas, as well as been with FIFA. Some of his ideas we're going to discuss. This is I mean topical because FIFA president came out recently and started saying maybe future World Cups will be held in winter, and they're also playing the Under-20 World Cup at the moment where they're doing a tryout for something where it's like tennis. Like if you see a decision, the coach can challenge by putting up a green card and say, okay, I want to challenge that decision. So it's not like VAR are not intervening every time. They only intervene when the coach wants them to intervene twice per match maximum, I think. So that's one of the things. And then the third idea they're bringing up is they want to expand the Club World Cup. Chelsea, who are champions of the Club World Cup, probably will need to play more teams the next time they play in it because they want to expand this to 48 teams. So those are the three. I want you to rank them from best to worst. Which one do you think is the best idea out of these three? And which one is the worst that you think that, man, we don't need this in the game? I'll start with you, Dayo.
The best, I would say, Winter World Cup. What does Winter World Cup mean? Is it winter in Europe or winter in the Southern Hemisphere? Because we don't always have to. Because if you are going to play in the Southern Hemisphere, it will be winter. And you play in the summer in Europe, it will have to be winter there. So there's really nothing. I want every team in the world, every country in the world to feel like they are playing a World Cup. It doesn't have to be Eurocentric or Northern Hemisphere centric. If it's summer in Australia, then go and play summer in Australia or in Brazil or in Chile. That's it. So that's one is good. The green card, I think, that comes in the middle. But expansion of the Club World Cup to 48, I think that's the worst. I think that is something else we don't just need. Because after a season of football, players are supposed to rest. I think this last one was 32 teams or so. I don't even know. If you're going to expand it even further, that means extra games for the players to play, extra stress, extra injuries, and less about the welfare of the players. So that's the worst in my own opinion.
Okay. Not bad. Good insight. I'll go with Arinze next. Which ones are which of
as an American sports fan, generally for football, basketball, I think one of the basketball I don't think you can challenge, but football you can definitely challenge. I like the idea of a green card because there's been some random moments where it's like, didn't VAR look at that, or it's like check complete, and now if it means that VAR doesn't intervene at all, I don't know if that's fair, because there's so many little things that happen through the game. But I do like the green card idea. So that's the best. Second, World Cup in the winter. It's not a bad idea. I think I get what Dayo is saying. We can't look at it through a Eurocentric lens, right? But we also have to realize that most of the players that will end up in the World Cup play in Europe. And so that means with the European season, it interrupts the season in the middle of it. So again, not a bad idea, but I think it just needs to be worked out how we do it. Qatar wasn't bad, right? Qatar, the only thing with Qatar is I think it interrupted the season and it just kind of had to work through the European season for the most part. But again, it needs to be worked out. The Club World Cup, first of all, is already a bad idea, right? In my opinion. No, because we have players get to rest every other year because of international tournaments, whether it's the Euros or Copa America or, all the different, I know the Asian Cup and African Cup are generally in January in the winter. But for the others, that most of the European players anyway, or the players that play in Europe, you're supposed to rest every other season, right? So if you now get a Club World Cup, which means every summer, right, you're playing in this thing, and you're seeing it with injuries. I think last year, you had Militao, and you had all these people that had ACLs coming into this year. Rodri had an ACL. Coming into this year again, you're having so many players just having injuries. This Club World Cup, to me, first of all, it should not even be a tournament. And number two, expanding it to 48 is just ridiculous. And I don't see what the value is, in my opinion. The Club World Cup, I don't see what it brings.
I see what the value is.
I know, besides money.
money.
Yeah, besides money, I don't see what it brings, right? yeah, it's silly.
Okay.
So that's the worst.
No problem. Thanks for that. Shala, over to you.
Yeah, I agree with Irinze. He said the Club World Cup for sure is by far the worst. By far the worst. Doesn't make any sense. 48 teams, why? Yeah, for sure it's by far the worst. Doesn't even I didn't particularly enjoy the last Club World Cup. I don't know. It just felt like the players were going through the motions for the most part until we got to maybe the semi-finals. The scheduling of the FIFA World Cup for winter periods, I'm indifferent about it. I have big beef in quotes with the Qatar World Cup because it kind of like disrupted Arsenal's season. Like we were in such a good moment at that time. Like the first half of that season, we were in such way, we were in a groove. And I remember Gabriel Jesus went to that World Cup and then he got injured in his knee, and and that was it. We just didn't. We're not the same team. We're not able to capture that form when. So please leave the World Cup as it is. Play it the same period where we've always played it. For that, if I was ranking it, that would be like in the middle.
Okay.
I love the idea of a green card. I'm a big NBA guy. I like that coaches in the NBA can challenge, can call for challenge. Like once you see a coach do this in the NBA, it means you want to challenge that decision. And how it works in the NBA is if you get to the first, if the referee does the review, if you challenge and you get it right, you get that. You get to keep your challenge. Yeah, exactly. That's how it works in the NBA. So I've always wanted that. I've always wanted coaches to have the power to like, no, that's a penalty. Go have a look, instead of following the discretion of what the VAR. Because what I've noticed is like the guy in the VAR room might just be another donkey.
Of course.
I'm sorry. It might just be another guy who doesn't.
Don't be sorry.
Like it just might be another donkey. And then it's two donkeys now you're having to deal with. You're having to deal with the donkey on the pitch and then the donkeys in the VAR room. You get what I mean? Like, so, bro, what are we doing here? So coaches should have the power to tell the center referee, like, you know what, go challenge it. I saw it, go and check it. Yeah, and then, and maybe bring the NBA style of if you win that challenge, you get to keep it. And then it just makes it's because in the NBA, like how it works is teams wait until like the fourth quarter where the game begins to hot up. That's when you don't use your challenge in the first, like, so if we can bring that kind of that kind of that style to football, I think it will work. Yeah. So I'm for that for sure. 100%.
Yeah. I pretty much agree with both of you there. When VAR first came a few years ago, there's EJ is one of the presenters on the show. I think she's the one who introduced you to the show, Shola. And that's one of the first things both of us were discussing. But like, because we like watching tennis, and in tennis you can challenge if maybe you feel like the ball didn't go out of the right thing or whatever. Okay. And we felt that was a way to approach it with VAR, because you could see the chaos that was going to happen with VAR. Because like you said, it's at the discretion of people who are basically incompetent. I can't call them, I don't want to call them corrupt because that's a conspiracy. But you can see that a lot of them are incompetent. So it's incompetent officials backing up incompetent officials, and they're doing that at their own discretion. So they just really just look at incidents and just do what they want. And they've been doing that for the past few years. And I've always felt this kind of challenge system is the best way to go. Take the power away from these people. Even though they're still going to be the ones reviewing it. But at least you limit their incompetence. So their incompetence is only twice a match. And even at that, somebody brought up a good point that with this system, when the coach says, oh, please, I want to check this, it's not the referee on the pitch who's making that call. So they're not feeling obliged to back up their colleague in the VAR room or whatever. Yes. So that removes that bit of pressure too. Because at this moment, it's usually like there's a pressure. Maybe the referee on the pitch. This happens with Michael Oliver. It's been said that he doesn't like people challenging him in the VAR room. So he feels what he sees on the pitch is what should stay. So he doesn't like them to send him to the monitor because he's a senior referee. He's like, I'm too good. Why would you send me to the monitor? So this kind of rubbish has to stop. And I feel this is one of the ways to stop it with this green. I feel so passionate about it. It's been annoying me for years. That why are you giving so much power to these incompetent people to just ruin games? So I'm happy they're doing the trial at the World Cup. Hopefully they implement it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, hopefully they include. The 48th game one for me is the 48 teams in the Club World Cup. Come on, I mean 32 was already too much. What are you thinking? You want to? But of course, I understand where you're coming from because it's more money. They got 1 billion pounds from a media rights company to do the last Club World Cup. So maybe they think with 48 teams they'll get maybe 2 billion. Maybe that's why they want to increase it. It's all about money for FIFA. You know, they don't care. Yeah. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about the players. So I think that's why they want to expand it. And not just they want to expand it. I think he wants to even hold it every 2 years. That is already putting that out there that it's not going to be every 4 years, that they might be doing it every 2 years. So it's crazy. The one in between, the winter one, I know you guys were asking that what will happen to the football calendar as it is. I think what he was saying 2 days ago, the FIFA president, was he thinks the calendar in Europe should actually change. That's why are they not playing football in June and July? Why are you taking a break in those months? That they should be playing football in those months. So he actually does not just wants to put the World Cup in the winter. He thinks the football calendar actually should change. That it should not be Eurocentric. So that's his argument. But I don't care as long as Nigeria is there. For me, I'm a bit indifferent, like Shola. As long as Nigeria can make it to the World Cup, whichever time they want to play it, I'm fine.
I'm fine actually.
I don't think we will be there in America next year. I doubt it. But on that pessimistic note, maybe we'll just round up. We'll round up and thank you guys for joining. We've done an hour and a few minutes. But before I say our goodbyes, I'm going to just take the social media handles again. And for anybody who has enjoyed the show, please like, share, comment, subscribe. YouTube channel is at Footy Fantasy. Twitter is at Footy AB Fantasy. Instagram is at Fantasy Footy, and then the team music is from SJ Music. You can find him on Instagram. I think there's a final comment. Oh, okay, yeah. We just take this final comment from Ayo. Ayo, thanks for joining us today. He says, I like the green card idea a lot. I despise the expanded Club World Cup. Yeah, basically, that's majority of us. That's what we think. Thank you so much, Shola. Thanks for popping on and joining and with great insights. We really appreciate. Arinze, great to see you again. And Mr. Bayern Munich, thank you for taking it easy on the Arsenal fans. I think
these are the good ones. these are the good ones.
I know you have a date. Actually,
we have a calendar with Toby.
The Arsenal fan said he wants to be with you when Bayern Munich play Arsenal. So please make yourself available on that day, sir.
I already called for a ceasefire, but these guys don't want.
No ceasefire. They are gunners. It's in their name. How can they have ceasefire when they are gunners? They have 24/7. So Ayo says great debut by Shola. So big up. Yeah,
thank you.
Let's see Shola more. Let him be the representative of us now.
Thank you.
Don't worry, Toby is waiting for you. Toby is waiting for you. So thank you, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
All right, take care, guys. Bye.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries.